Hello everyone, welcome to this new module on machine learning. In this first lecture, we are going to understand the definition of machine learning. In the previous lecture, we touched upon the basics of intelligence, artificial intelligence, and different areas explored in AI. Machine learning is considered to be the core engine of artificial intelligence. In fact, in the evolution, we would have studied that this is the age of machine learning. And the machine learning is the driver for the rapid boom in the artificial intelligence space in the last few years. So today we will understand what machine learning is. So what is machine learning? It is the idea that there are generic algorithms that can tell you something interesting about a set of data without you having to write any custom code specific to the problem. So what we are trying to do here is we are trying to look at the data, and from the data we are trying to identify some patterns with the help of generic algorithms. When we say algorithms, we are talking about statistical models written in a programming language like Python, R. So with the help of which you are able to analyze the data, identify the patterns. So when you're doing this process is called as machine learning. So what you are actually trying to do is you are trying to derive insights from the data that is available to you with the help of statistical models. Thereby, those insights will help you to predict the future. That's why when we talk of machine learning, we talk of prediction machines. That is how we are able to predict the future based on the data that is available with us. So instead of writing a code, you are just feeding data to the generic algorithm, and to keep it at 50,000 feet level, if I have to define it, it builds its own logic based on the data that is available. This may sound confusing at this point of time, but as we progress, you will understand this better. So basically, machine learning is a technology designed to build intelligent systems. And these systems can also learn from experience or analyze historical data. So when we talk of artificial intelligence, we always talk about decoding the intelligence of a machine, that is human, sorry, and then how can we encode it into a machine. That is what we cover it as the basic artificial intelligence definition. Now, where does the intelligence come for the human? While we are trying to define intelligence, we realize that learning is one of the important dimensions of intelligence. So here what we are trying to cover is we are trying to understand how a human learns and then take that learning process and then encode it into a machine. So we are taking one critical element of intelligence, that is learning, and then we are giving it to a machine here. So when we talk of learning, for humans, experience is considered to be an important factor in the learning process. So what we call it as the experiential learning process. So instead of you reading the book, if you go through the experience, you learn better, isn't it? So the same concept applies here. So what we are trying to understand is the pattern in which humans are able to use experience for their learning process and how a machine can do the same with the help of some programming. I'll give you a simple example. When we spoke of learning, we were talking about how a machine, how a human actually tries to understand that okay, certain things are false, certain things are mistakes, that he should not repeat it again. Like for example, I walk on the road and I see a banana, and on stepping on the banana I slip. Next time when I see the banana, I would not be stepping on it because that is what the experience has taught me. So this is the experience. It is nothing but the collection of the past events that has happened in my life, which is actually helping me to derive insights out of it and take those learnings so that I do not or I do certain things in future. So you're able to understand how a human learns isn't it, from the past experiences. Now, what is experience for a machine? So, if you look at the machine, experience is nothing but the collection of the past data. So, data here refers to anything that has been stored. The data can be in the form of text, the data can be in the form of images, videos, it can be in any format. So, today, for example, for a human, you are hearing my voice. After 5 years, if you hear my voice again, somewhere you will be able to identify the pattern that, okay, I've heard this voice and let me find out whose voice is that. And you will try to fit me into one of the patterns based on your past data that has been stored in your mind. It is the same thing that happens with a machine. Machine keeps on collecting the data. And from the data, you're trying to derive insights based on some statistical models. And when you derive insights, those insights will actually help you to predict the future. So your historical data will help you to understand the present and the future. So any result that comes from the machine, an AI agent, is actually based on the experience that it has. Here, experience is equal to the past historical data. I hope this definition makes sense for you. So Alperdin, when he is trying to define machine learning in concrete mathematical terms, he is talking about optimizing a performance criteria using example data and past experience. So if you look at it, the way humans have learned, lot of things we have learned from our experiences. Start with the simple thing, how a baby learns to walk. It observes and then it starts practicing, it makes mistakes, it falls down and then it gets up again and realizes that this is not the way I should walk in this manner. It keeps on making mistakes, and from every mistake that it does, the baby learns, and finally it starts walking by itself. So there are multiple learning processes involved, one by observation, the other by experience. So there are different aspects involved. So the same way, the machine also tries to use the example data and the past experiences and then try to optimize the performance criteria. The criteria can be any goal for that matter. The goal can be walking, the goal can be understanding the language for Alexa, let's say. The goal can be to respond to a message when somebody says okay Google in the phone. So it can be anything. So how well you are able to relate to it and then act. In fact, to give you one more example about the goal, even your iPhone unlocking using facial recognition. The goal is to identify the right owner of the phone and then unlock the phone. And how do you do that? Using the example data of how the face looks. You initially set it up with multiple images of your face and also the past experience. So past experience, sometimes when the owner is entering, looking at the face and taking a snap, it is not unlocking. Then you start entering the password. That means your facial recognition did not work properly. So you take it as a feedback and you keep on improving on that. So this is a basic example of machine learning. Now when we talk about machine learning, we should ideally compare it with the traditional business intelligence model also. So in the past, how do we create systems? So you try to write a query which goes into the database and then which fetches the result. So humans write the query. They define the rules based on which the data has to be fetched. And the focus is on for analysis of the past data, and there is structured data in the database. This is how a traditional business intelligence machine would look like. Now let's look at machine learning. We are actually training the machine learning model on the historical data. So look at it. To give you the basic example, we have the historical data and we have a training process defined. What is training? It is nothing but you are trying to understand what kind of insights are available with respect to the goal that you have. You try to derive insights using the statistical models written with the help of a programming language. You train and you find out the insights, and then you are trying to find an equation finally. What is a model? A model is nothing but you are defining a very simple equation. Remember, during our school days we used to define something like y is equal to f of x. Similar equation, to put it in very simple terms for you. that f of x can be multiple variables also, right? F of x1, x2, x3, it can be based on multiple variables. You derive an output. Now it can, each variable that is x1, x2 can have a weightage also, isn't it? So that weightage is w1, w2, w3 for x1, x2, x3. So it will be like y is equal to w1 x1 plus w2 x2 plus w3 x3. That's how you create an equation, and that becomes your model. Now from the historical data, you are understanding the insights, you are identifying the weights that are associated with the model, and you create a simple equation which you call it as a model. Y is equal to w1 x1, w2 x2, w3 x3, etc. Okay. Now when a new data comes in, the new data will have x1, x2, x3 and everything, and the weightages will come from historical data w1, w2, w3. Now put it across in the equation and you will have the result, that is y. And if the y is exactly found, then it is called as, there is no error. If the y is deviant from the expected output, then there is an error. You will try to retrain the model and minimize the error. This is what we do in the machine learning process. Okay. For now, it may be slightly fuzzy in your mind. Don't worry, we will take the examples and we will help you to understand better in the upcoming sessions. So data is the core essence for running a machine learning model. So you pass data. From the data, you are trying to train the machine with the help of models, with the help of algorithms, generic algorithms. Okay. To give you examples of generic algorithms at a very high level now, it can be linear regression, which is a very popular algorithm we all are exposed to, isn't it? The same y is equal to fx plus c is the equation that we used to do it in the school days or in the engineering college days. And we used to find the variables to get the output, how you predict it, isn't it? So this is how you build a model. The weightages of the model comes from the training data that is available. Based on that, you are predicting the outcome. This is what is the machine learning model. So the difference between the rule-based conventional approach versus the machine learning is, in the rule-based approach, you build an if-else condition model. That is, the complete business logic is being built on the if-else logic. And you just pass the input. Based on the business logic, the output comes out. The popular example I give is the calculator. In calculator, every function in the calculator is actually defined. If you press plus, it becomes addition. So 3 or 5, 3 and 5, let's say you pass it as input to the calculator. The output 8 comes out because the business logic is built in. If you press star, that is asterisk, then 3 and 5 passed as input means it will do multiplication and it will give you 15. So there is a clarity that this is how the rule-based approach works. Now, coming to the machine learning model, here you are not actually building in the business logic. When you talk of the model, you are actually trying to look at the data. So I'll give you a very simple logic here. 3, 5, and then answer is 8. That is the output that you get. And then 5, 10. The output is 15. Let's say you are passing these 2 points as training data. You know the input, you know the output. So you are keeping it as a training data and you are trying to understand what is actually happening in the data. Can you derive the insight on what is the logic that is being performed? You know that 3 and 5 when it is passed, you get 8. 5 and 10 when it's passed, it is 15. Now your brain is super intelligent to find out that it is addition which is happening. But a machine will not be able to do that, right? So that's where you should train the machine and you should make the model with the help of generic algorithms to see what is actually happening. It may not identify that as addition, but it will tell you that, okay, I have found out the equation and I think this is the equation which is happening. And now when you pass a new input, let's say for example 7 and 8. Now 7 and 8 when it is passed as an input, it will try to predict the output. That is 7 and 8 when it is addition, it is 15, isn't it? It will try to predict 15 and the answer can be 14.8 or 15.2, but somewhere closer to that. This is where the gap is. But as and when the more training data is available, let's say 1,000 numbers you are giving it as input, and then you know the output, and then you're asking it to find out what is the model. With the help of the algorithm, the model will be built whereby when the new input is given, it will predict it accurately, relatively more accurate compared to what it was earlier, because you have more training data available. So I hope you understand the difference between the rule-based approach and machine learning approach here. And this is the fundamental difference which makes machine learning more interesting. In the upcoming lecture, I'm going to talk more about this example, because without understanding how the machine learning works, what is a new shift in the machine learning model, it is really tough for you to visualize the AI engines. But before that, you need to understand the fundamental assumption of learning, how the learning happens in a machine. Since we are talking about statistical models being used to build a machine learning model, you need to make the use of this assumption very clearly. The distribution of the training examples is identical to the distribution of the test examples. That is, whatever data that you are getting in, based on the input and the output, you are deriving the model, isn't it? That's what we learned it as machine learning. Now, whatever the input and the output comes, it follows certain pattern, and the same pattern should be followed for any new data that comes in. Only then you will be able to get a similar output or a predicted output. If you are going to give something completely different, let's say for example here you are given it as 3 and 5 and 8 and 5 and 10 as 15, and suddenly you are passing in as a text like Lakshmi and Narayanan, won't it be confused? Because you were expecting numbers and the output was supposed to be very similar to what it was predicted in the output in the training data, but now it is not identical. So the first assumption is the distribution of the data and the data type and everything should be very much identical. Next, in practice, this assumption is often violated to a certain degree. That is something you should be aware of and conscious about. And strong violations will clearly result in poor classification accuracy. So the more and more wrong sampling is being picked up from the data, the more and more accuracy issues will come up, and the accuracy of the model will come down. Only when you have the population defined perfectly with the help of the sample, both in testing as well as in training, only then you will get a very good accurate model. To achieve good accuracy on the test data, training examples must be sufficiently representative of the test data. See, you need to understand something. The moment you speak of statistics, the population, sampling, all these aspects will come into picture. So when you implement machine learning using a language like Python or R, you will actually talk about what is the data available, how much sample I can take to analyze the data. In that sample, how much data I should keep it for training, how much data I should keep it for testing. All these aspects you will consider. And this fundamental assumption of learning is something which drives this whole machine learning concept. So you should not ignore this particular assumption. I hope in this lecture you have understood what machine learning is. In the upcoming lectures, we will understand in detail of what machine learning is and what are the different approaches that are available. Thank you very much for your time today.